All right, let's get right into it. We're going to be talking about one of the most ridiculously complex parts of building a ship, designing the electrical cable layout. And today, we're looking at a new tool that is aiming to completely flip this entire process on its head. It's called SEcMS. That's the Shipboard Electrical Cable Management System, and it's a platform that moves the entire messy workflow right into your web browser. You know, if you've ever worked in ship design, this quote hits home hard. The success of a massive, multi-million-dollar project literally hangs on getting tens of thousands of cables planned out perfectly. It is a world of just immense pressure, where designers are in a constant race against the clock. This quote, it just nails that daily struggle. So what does that struggle actually look like day to day? Well, it's spending hours, maybe even days, manually punching thousands of rows of data into Excel. It's that sinking feeling when you discover a critical 3D interference problem way too late in the game. And of course, it's the constant threat of deadlines collapsing and all the late nights you spend just trying to keep up. That's been the reality for way too long. So there has to be a better way, right? This is where SEcMS comes in with a completely new workflow. Let's just walk through it step by step, and you'll see how it takes that old, frustrating process and turns it into something, well, something that's actually streamlined and intelligent. Everything kicks off right here, the front door to SEcMS. And the first thing you'll probably notice is what isn't here. There's no complicated installation process, no server you have to maintain, and you're not going to be wrestling with license keys. It's a true cloud-based platform, so all you need to get going is your web browser. That's it. And getting started is just as simple as you'd hope. The platform uses Firebase for authentication, which basically just means you can securely sign in with the Google account you already have. No new passwords to remember. Or, if you're hopping onto a team project, you can get access with a single invite code. It's all designed to be completely frictionless. And once you're in, this is your new home base, a clean, empty project screen. Now, this isn't just a user interface. It's really a representation of a fresh start. Think of it as a blank canvas, totally free from the overwhelming clutter of a giant spreadsheet, just waiting for you to build your next project with total clarity. Okay, so how do you get all your project data in here? Well, you don't actually have to change a thing about how you work now. You just take your existing Excel, cable, and node lists and upload them. The system's parsing engine is unbelievably fast. I'm talking over 23,000 rows per second. It just intelligently figures out what's in your columns and swallows all that data in a flash. And boom, just like that, the transformation is done. The second your data is uploaded, it's not a dead spreadsheet anymore. It becomes this living dashboard that gives you an immediate high-level view of your entire project. You see your total cables, total length, how it's all distributed. This is your raw data, instantly turned into actionable intelligence. Now, if we dig in a little deeper, you get to the cable list, and instead of that endless, painful scrolling through a spreadsheet, you get this really fine-grained control over every single cable. You can search, filter, and edit info right here on the spot, which makes managing thousands of entries feel structured and, honestly, pretty effortless. Okay, so all of our data is loaded and organized. Now we get to the real heart of the system. This right here is the routing panel. It's the command center. This is where you set your parameters and then basically unleash the optimization engine on your entire project. This is where the magic really starts to happen. And here's the payoff. In just a few moments, the system calculates the absolute best, most optimal path for every single one of your cables. This screen shows you that detailed output, the final calculated length, and the exact path each cable will take through the ship's network of nodes. The whole workflow from a messy Excel file to a fully optimized routing plan is now complete. So we've seen what SEcMS does, but I think the real question for any engineer watching is, how on earth does it do it so fast? Let's pop the hood and take a look at the core technology that's driving all this power and precision. Let's start with a number that really puts its power into perspective. This is the time it takes SEcMS to process and find the optimal route for over 35,000 individual cables. Less than 30 seconds. This isn't just a little bit better, it's a fundamental shift in how fast design work can get done. So, how does this stack up against what you might be using now? Well, this table makes it pretty clear. You compare it to the big, expensive legacy CAD software like CADMATIC or AVEVA. SEcMS needs no installation, it's dramatically faster, and it has features like simultaneous 8-class checks and AI analysis built right in. And when you compare it to doing this all by hand in Excel, well, it's not even in the same league. So how is that kind of performance even possible?
It's this specific recipe of core technologies working together. It uses the Heap-Dijkstra algorithm, which is the gold standard for finding the shortest path. It blasts through that work using a 4-worker pool for massive parallel processing. When it calculates tray fill, it's not just a simple guess. It's a physics-based packing simulation. And all of that is augmented by Grok AI to help validate data and spot problems.
But SEcMS is actually a lot more than just a powerful routing engine. The real goal here is total automation, something that covers the entire life cycle of a project, from that very first design concept all the way through to procurement and installation.
So let's look at how that works. As soon as your routing is done, you can generate a complete bill of materials with a single click. Then, the system automatically splits all the cable lengths you need based on standard drum sizes, which is an absolutely killer feature for cutting down on wasted material. And from there, that data flows right into managing the whole procurement process. It connects every single step. And throughout this whole process, the system is constantly double-checking your work. It has built-in auto-verification for 8 major class societies. We're talking DNV, Lloyd's Register, ABS, you name it. It runs tray fill simulations against the IEC 6092 standard. You can see it all in the integrated 3D plant router. And behind the scenes, you've got AI-powered validation that's always looking for weird anomalies and errors that a human might miss. So, with all of this power, all this automation, who is this platform actually built for? Let's break down the target users and see how the system is structured to help them out. The platform is really built to scale with you. A single engineer can jump in with the trial tier just to get a feel for the basic routing. Small to medium design firms, who are really the primary target, get the full suite of features and AI analysis with the beta tier. And for those huge, large-scale projects, the Pro tier adds advanced tools like the Drum Manager and that comprehensive class verification. There's really an entry point for everyone. So when you boil it all down, SEcMS is positioned as a powerful, direct, and, importantly, affordable alternative to those legacy CAD packages that are often just completely out of reach for smaller firms. It's a tool that's built for the realities of modern shipbuilding, putting speed, accessibility, and efficiency first. And that brings us right back to where we started. The chance to leave that old, painful way of working behind is right here, right now. Beta pricing is currently available, which offers a pretty significant discount for early adopters. Your new, streamlined workflow is literally just a click away. We'll just leave you with this one question. Because at the end of the day, the goal of a tool like this isn't just about routing cables faster. It's about giving engineers and designers back their most valuable resource, their time. Time to innovate, time to solve bigger problems, and time to engineer the next generation of ships. What would you do with all that time?